Who here on this panel has seen Think Like a Man?
I'm not.
Oh yeah, that's like good shit.
Yes.
Black sound?
I checked it out.
Too black of a cast?
I don't watch a lot of movies.
Welcome to the thought-provoking, ladies and gents. I'm Al. We got Marcus, Rick, and Sean, and we are joined by my sisters, Tammy and Shir. What's going on, folks?
What's going on, evening?
Can't call it.
Ladies and gents, how's
Yes, sir.
everybody?
My bell,
You know.
This here episode is our 1-year anniversary.
Hey,
It is.
Yes. I want to thank everybody for supporting us.
well,
We're going to jump right into it. I have this little clip I want to show y'all. It brought me a little bit of joy.
I'm home. We can start fresh. Start our family. We're good. You waited for me, right?
Daddy, Mommy's calling you.
I know he told you I was looking for him. So who was that?
Chloe, what you doing here? Oh, I see you met my family.
Yo, chill.
Okay. So of all bitches you could have been with? Of all the bitches on earth, this is the bitch you gonna live with. This bitch right here.
Chloe, I ain't talked to you in 5 years. What you expect me to do?
Wait for me like you promised?
Sweetheart,
You promised!
Sweetheart, promises are made to be broken.
Yo! Chloe!
Promises are meant to be. The fuck?
no way.
Oh, damn.
Well, that escalated real quick.
Hold up.
Come
0 to
on,
100.
man.
Oh,
Fucking boozy.
come on,
Yes.
dog.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
Where do you be getting these clips from?
You click our producer. Is there others of that one? Now, because I don't watch Tubi. Now, after seeing this clip, I firmly believe
Man.
that Takedown could be on Tubi.
I agree with
Easy.
that assessment.
Facts.
And also,
Come on, man.
seeing how this clip ended, you guys agree with her shooting the kid?
Come on, man. No, never.
Sure, why not?
I mean, okay. That's fair.
I mean-
it's a good argument, right? True. I'm with Ray.
Marcus?
Nah, man. I don't know if I can shoot the kid, bro. I mean, I guess I ain't mad at her for shooting the kid. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's how she feels. That's how
Like,
she feel.
the why is yes.
What about you ladies?
Oh,
It's never okay to shoot a kid, but I understand. You don't want him to grow up and come back.
oh man. Come on, man.
What about you, Shirley?
No, I definitely disagree. Like he said, I'm just a kid. So
Let me tell y'all how that plays out with me.
You shoot everybody.
I'm just a kid.
Oh,
I'm about to shoot this motherfucker. Why you bullshitting?
Here's why I agree with shooting this kid. Have y'all seen the new Equalizer?
not yet.
Denzel killed everybody in this motherfucker. He walked away from the sun. The second he turned his back, just thinking he was a kid, he shot him in the back.
Yeah.
Almost took his a kid. So hey, I'm just a kid. Night, nigga. All right, that's all I got.
Night. Yeah.
Night. Now the other question is, should my man have waited the 5 years? I'll start with you, ladies. Should he have waited for 5 years or moved on with his life?
My thing is, if he had promised to wait for the 5 years, then he should have waited, and he kind
Sure.
of got what he deserved. But if he felt like he wanted to move on, he should have let her know and not string her along. So when she came out, she didn't come out thinking she was coming home to her man, and she was gonna have this.
Oh, that's what she's coming out of jail.
That's a good point.
You locked up.
That's a good point.
You locked up. That's what she was coming out of jail. That's what she's 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 com
Yeah, that's a good point.
I kind of see Marcus getting caught up in a situation.
I gotta be me. I gotta be it. I'll keep it a buck, man. I'd keep it a buck. But hey, I can't wait 5 years, or I'm gonna wait 5 years. You know, however that worked out. You know?
Very methodical though that way. Yeah, waiting the 5 years just makes it that much more intense. But they didn't display it that way. Like, I don't know. You watched Law Abiding Citizen, right? Like,
oh, I love that.
That's great flick.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
But we'll see about it getting taken down on Tubi.
Tubi's out of pocket for that, bro.
hey man, Tubi's free. Don't knock it. Don't knock it, dog.
No. That's true.
With ads.
That's true.
Or was that Freevee? Freevee too.
Yeah. It's the same shit.
I'm not judging. You watch Tubi.
I don't judge.
But judging by the acting in that clip,
well, that's why it's free.
Yeah, everybody got to start
That's why
somewhere.
it's free.
Everybody got to start somewhere.
Yo, listen. Again, don't hate it. Don't hate it because you can't.
Well, I feel like it reconfirmed what she was going to. As soon as the kid said, hey, I'm a kid, I feel like she meant more to pull the trigger. Like she kind of glared a little bit differently than she shot.
I would have shot the
Did
kid
she
first.
like shoot him on?
Oh, damn. That's another level, bro. You said you gotta shoot the kid first.
I mean, you let the heifer off. You let the heifer off easy, along with the boyfriend. I mean, shoot the kid first.
Why is she gonna be a heifer?
Yeah.
Let them feel it. Let them feel it before they go.
Yeah.
Let them feel it.
I don't know if it's justified, but it definitely says, don't make promises you can't keep. We all do a lot of that. Maybe we should kind of curb that a little bit, because now you see that's like the extreme version of it. But
Because in the fall of the House of Usher, all the kids died before he did.
That was part of the deal, though. So in this scenario, though, the kid wasn't like in line for that. That was just she was a dumb bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
look, you don't know that. You know what kind of deal his daddy made with that heifer?
That's still wild, bro. That's still wild.
well, you say he's an only product, so he should be taken off the plate.
I mean, if that's what you sign up for, let's keep it real.
You guys know some little bastard coming back to shoot you. Hey, not me. He goes first. I want to hear the
for sure.
First is
no, I'm with you on that part. Like, no. If it's a design, like there's always a design. So if it's owed to you, like you should get it, and everyone that could potentially or possibly like enjoy it should get to enjoy it. Like, isn't that? I'm sick though.
I agree a little bit. But who here on this panel has seen Think Like a Man?
Guys, happy Valentine's Day, sweetie. And you too, Mom.
I'm just gonna leave you two alone.
I'll call you.
Or not.
Will be God.
The Dark Knight strikes again.
But women have had enough.
What is the problem with men of this generation?
Ladies, till you understand the mindset of a man, you are never gonna win in the game of love.
Act like a lady, but think like a man.
Now one book is changing the game.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, that's like good shit.
Yes.
It's a good flick.
I checked it out.
I missed that one. I'm sorry.
Too black of a cast.
I don't watch a lot of movies. I hadn't crossed my path, my friend.
In this movie, there's what's her name?
Taraji, right?
Okay, yeah, Taraji. Her character,
Taraji.
She is
like
extremely. She's like a 6-figure COO in the movie. And what's light skin's name?
Michael Ealy.
Oh, she knows both. She knows.
Why did you bring up her like fucking income though?
Well, see, in the movie, all these guys are coupled up in some way, shape, or form. The guys in this movie giving each other terrible advice, but in this, with these Taraji, she hooks up with him under the pretense that he's driving a nice car. She thinks he's a chef in between jobs or what have you. Or so he leads her to believe that.
Hey, Sally's slammed. Go park some cars.
Whoa, she's so sweet to the eye. She walked right by with her nose in the sun.
That's my car.
She don't even know who I am.
Okay, where's the window?
Yes.
And she finds out later on, he isn't those things. He's just a dreamer. He drives a Honda with no grill.
And
she dumps him for a CEO that makes six figures, drives a nice car, but realizes later on he doesn't give a shit about it. So my question is, should it matter if you make six figures and your partner doesn't? Could you guys coexist lovingly?
No.
Of course. I mean, I don't think that's the real question. Let's just be honest, Al. I think the real question really is, for someone that is like based on monetary, like, let's just face it. If you're a gold digger, male or female, if you're a gold digger, is it okay to find love somewhere that doesn't get fulfilled? And let's just be honest with ourselves. If that's something that matters to you, that has to be fulfilled, right? So if the real question is, are you okay with the fact that she was like, oh, wow, I'm attracted to someone who doesn't have money? Well, yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the first one to say that's the kind of shit that you need in your life to help you get your priorities intact, And it's definitely more important to love someone more than what you get from them.
I agree with that. And I think a part of the movie was that he said that she inspired him to do better and to be better and want to be, better than what he was. And I think that's important in a relationship.
I never even had a prospectus. I did it all to impress you. You inspired me. You motivated me to do something for myself for the first time.
And I think that the money dynamic has nothing to do with anything. As long as your partner provides you with love, loyalty, stability, consideration, that's what's more important than material things.
Yep. You can get that other shit yourself.
Exactly.
That stuff right there is stuff that you can't give to yourself. Exactly. Yep.
Sure. And I definitely agree. I feel like, the connection is what matters, as long as, both partners are reciprocating their love for one another, that's what truly matters.
I agree. What about you, Sean?
I mean, honestly, I think that it shouldn't, of course, matter. People can walk in different walks in different lives and still come together in the middle. Like, it's just what your level and how you're succeeding at it. Chris Rock told a joke a long time ago. We're talking about you can't have two different walks. Like somebody went to their job at a CEO, like 6-figure job, and then they're like, okay, I'm going to stay home and smoke crack. Like, eventually that'll break. Like, if one's staying home and smoke crack, the other one's staying home and smoke crack too. So those kind of personalities don't usually interact, but like when it comes across, it doesn't matter. When you have that personality that kind of clings to that personality, yeah, you can inspire somebody to do better. So it doesn't really matter where one's sitting or the other one's sitting. It should not matter if there's a genuine connection. You just inspire them to do better. And it's not about doing better than the other one. It's doing better than you did yesterday. So, I mean, if you can see that in somebody, I don't matter.
Marcus?
I mean, yeah, I agree with everybody, man. Like, the money part of it is what it is. If she got it, y'all both got it. You got it, y'all both got it. You're partners. So,
I mean, does it make it more attractive for you if she's got bread, though?
No, because you're not going to know that initially. I mean, that obviously will help. Like, just as far as
Let me rephrase. If you know from Jump Street that this chick is digging you, she's into you, whatever, but she doesn't need you for your money, doesn't that feel like a different kind of level of attraction? It always has for me. Like, I know when a woman's like, yeah, that's cool. You can go to work and you can make that per hour, but I don't really care. Like, there's a level of love with that just cannot be met.
I
met.
Can see that.
You know what I mean?
No. And I can see that.
And I feel like, Marcus, you're on that level with that.
Well, I feel like with that being said, if it's that kind of situation, it takes away the expectancy. You know what I'm saying? Like, with a typical relationship where everybody has their obligation and some role to fulfill, there's that expectancy just built up with people. And so you expect this and you expect that. And that's where the problems with people lie, is when people aren't meeting those expectancies. If you don't expect anything out of anybody, it's very hard to get upset. So I feel like, when they have that kind of money, there's not that expectancy for you to go out and do things. So it's not as easy for them to get upset that you aren't meeting that level. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not that level set to begin with. So I feel like that plays into it a lot there too. Because when there's a need, there's a genuine need, then you're like, bro, you need to be doing your part too. You need to be doing your part too. If there's not a need, it's an easier situation, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what happens is sometimes
I'm sorry.
It gets caught up in the whole no, that's all right. Sorry, my bad. I was just saying like sometimes we get caught up in this role where he or she is only really with that person because of money. Like they don't leave the relationship. In other words, I have personally had people sit in front of me and complain to me about their relationship to a point that would say, why are you even with this person if this is how you feel? And the only reason that they're with them is because they provide financially. So the flip to that coin is, it's like, wow, when you see a relationship where two people, regardless of the dynamics of it, they're not together and they're together, but it's not based on some sort of like fiduciary or financial sort of sustainability. It's inspiring. It's nice to know that people fall in love without some sort of like role. And like Marcus, I see that in you. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you appreciate that too.
Yeah. I mean, like in the context of the movie, like I feel like the conflict comes with him not being like honest up front with what was going on, like where he's at.
I don't even know how much he makes. Whoa. And you know what? I don't care. I believe in his dreams.
She thinks I'm a chef on the rise.
A cold-ass Benz. And a sexy limo driver. I look good last night. I had the head cocked to the side.
Guys, she's going to run when I tell her the truth.
Whatever you do, you don't tell her the truth.
Thank you.
You delay. I wouldn't tell her till she's in her third trimester.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Dom, I know you, okay? And you're trying to grow a conscience here. Trust me on this one. Honesty is overrated, man. That's in the Bible. Old Testament.
And like, I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't have been that big of a deal considering like the attraction was there. They, were liking each other on a personality level. Obviously, her seeing him pull up in that car probably added to that. But I don't know. Like, I like to think better of people that if you're attracted to somebody, like, you're not going to know what they have until you get to know them. But the attraction is not going to come from... Yeah. Well, I would assume the attraction is not going to come from just like, oh, I think they got it. So let me go see,
Well, I haven't seen the movie, but it sounds like dude's in the middle of, fake it till you make it. And a lot of people kind of find themselves in that role when they're trying to do better. You're trying to head to success. It's pimping on a penny. You got to do what you got to do. And when you're getting there, you're getting there. And if you meet somebody along the way, that's the thing. Just don't lie about it. You can't lie to somebody and then have them be cool about that later. Like, you got to be level with people, and transparency is important at all levels. So, if you're transparent from the get-go and you're saying, hey, man, look, I'm kind of balling on a budget, work with me. And then that's understood. There's a different
balling on the budget.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different kind of look than, hey, lying to them too. Because then they feel like they're part of the rest of the world, that you are not lying, but that you're pulling the cover, like pulling the wool over their eyes. Right. So yeah, it's going to cause problems.
So do you ladies think that he was wrong for lying up front?
Yeah.
Believe he was wrong for lying, but it makes sense why he lied. He was trying to impress her.
Yeah.
At the same time, that's why she did what she did. She went towards the CEO.
True. Now, should he have taken her back after he dumped her for the CEO?
What are you doing?
I want you back, Dominic.
Well, if he didn't love her, no. It would have just been a waste of time. Waste of emotion.
Yeah. She accepted him at some point, as being, after he lied about who he was and what he does. So it'd be only right that he, extend that same grace and take her back. She had to, she had to see it for herself. She had to learn her lesson, What was more important, the money and the prestige or the love,
Yeah. And she'll realize life will grow always better.
You're so funny.
I know about Alice.
Come on, fucking Al! I swear to God.
I mean, he really loved her though.
He did love her. Yes.
Yeah.
I think the overall point to all that is though, like no matter what, if you don't meet an expectation, you're not going to be absorbed the way that you want to get absorbed. So I think that's why a lot of people sort of like, well, there's a combination. Let me give you two examples. One, play dumb. Like, you know how a lot of people play dumb? Like they'll do it at work a lot. They'll act like they really don't know what's up.
I don't know what
so
you're
that way
talking
when
about.
they do know what's up, yeah, then people will actually appreciate it. Like, oh, wow, he did such a great job. And you're like, oh. But when it comes to relationships, it's a little bit different because you have to, like, if you don't legitimately want that person, it's going to reflect. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not 6 months from now. Eventually, that's just going to come to the forefront. And that's the difference with that. I think she wouldn't have fell for him if she didn't feel like some of those things about him and what he had. Like, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If she didn't see him as that particular person, that includes what he had. She wouldn't have fell for him. If she would have saw him as a bum, she wouldn't have fell for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's be honest.
He probably gave her the best 3.5 minutes of her life, too. You don't
Oh,
know.
stop. God damn it.
I think she saw his potential.
Yeah.
But Rick, you make a valid point because it's like, would they even be together if he wasn't, flossing in the beginning? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Or see, try to find a way to impress her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you nailed it. You nailed it.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it. Like a big part of what like we're designed to do is like we're supposed to I guess we're supposed to like sort of coax our mate. You know what I mean? Like we're supposed to say, hey, look, this is what I have to offer. And in that scenario, you can think what you want to think about her in terms of what she wants in a mate. But if he lied or perpetrated or misrepresented who he was, you can't be mad at her for. But yeah, you make a valid point too, Al. When you say like, should he have took her back like at the end? I don't know. Once you see a certain side of someone, you can't unsee it.
Well, after the dark one got up in her, I don't want leftovers. I mean, I don't know how else to put it.
Hey, to be fair though, she said that was her ex from like college or whatever. So like he had already been there.
Look at you.
Before light skin got. So.
Yeah, I mean,
it ain't new.
We already washed things out with Listerine. Things was cool.
It ain't
And she wanted to go
new.
back
No Listerine.
And Al, to add to
Come
your
on,
point
man.
of taking her back, like a lot of the conflict again started because of how he represented himself from the get-go. And like you said, I don't even know that he was even mindful of like, I'm in this whip and I'm presenting myself this way. Like I just felt like he saw her. Yeah, he was just going after her. So it's like,
No,
at that point,
he did that on purpose. Fuck that.
He's got to keep up that facade.
He wasn't gonna run after her. She was in a fast Benz.
Yeah. And she noticed him too. Like she noticed him. They noticed each other. And he's a good looking dude. Wow.
The pretty eyes. My wife
light
loves
eyes and stuff. Yeah.
Hey, beautiful.
He would have gotten over it anyway. That's my thing. He would have gotten over if he would just kept it a buck. It was like, hey man, this ain't mine.
After
LA right
Are
now.
you trying to say? Are you trying to say he still could have hit it even if he pulled up in a fucking Honda?
Nah, if he'd have rolled up in that, if he'd have rolled up in his Honda with no grill,
See, she might not have noticed it.
No.
But if he would have just been walking by and saw her, then yeah, I think he had a shot. Why not? If they would have just seen each other in some place and not like, if you take the material stuff out of it and they just saw each other.
That's very telling about her though too.
That's
it's
what
like,
she
look, man,
found
if he pulled up
attractive,
in that
though.
Honda and she didn't want to because of that. That says a lot about her, and it kind of tells you too. It's like, and as far as he goes, it's like he could be the most honorable dude and cool guy and a great dude, and they might have that personality, but like at the beginning, like at the end of the day, you're still a liar. Like that to me, if I meet somebody that's super, super dope and they're super great, but then they lied to me to start everything off, it's gonna make everything else kind of a little twisted. I'm not gonna look at this thing.
I gotta disagree with you. It's not lying. It just, you know what I mean? Like it's like, are you lying when you? When you cast bait out into the lake for the fish to grab it, like, are you lying? Like,
yeah. Kinda. Yeah, the fish, they think that shit real food.
But after he could have came clean at any time. He could have even came clean. They'd be like, hey, look.
Yeah.
Exchanging numbers. Back to work.
Back me up.
I mean.
But you know what, too? Like, maybe he was thinking, like, because of her job and her position, like, maybe he was thinking she's gonna look down on me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't even feel like he gave her an opportunity to, like, see who he really was from the get-go. Again, I don't think he was, like, trying to do it that way, but that's just how it played out, you know? So, I mean, it worked out.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was doing at to start. It's not, there was no malicious intent. Let me word it like that. It wasn't like he tried to, he didn't try to deceive her, but at the same time, once he knew what was up, he ran with it. So, like, he's not innocent.
No.
Definitely let me say this. The men in that movie were giving each other terrible advice.
Terrible.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you know what? I see dudes doing that. A ton of dudes are dumbass. You know, let's just be straight up. And these dudes are except for the only guy that wasn't getting terrible advice was the one that was married to not married, but Gabrielle Union. That relationship, telling him, give up that childish shit.
Yeah.
And grow. She's gonna leave you.
And it's a great girl. Don't mess up something good over a damn couch, right?
Yeah, but that's Gabby Union too. Like, you would figure it out too, Al. Come on. Most dudes don't understand what time it is anyway. Like, most guys are really fucked up anyway. Like, most of the time, what they're expressing is based on. See, we like to think of ourselves as rational creatures and women as emotional creatures. Where, like, women sort of react and act based on their emotions, right? So today, XYZ is okay because of how I feel. Tomorrow, XYZ is not okay because I don't feel like that. As we're with men, we emotionally react. So our emotions allow us to react. And in this particular situation, I think it gave him like a feeling of power, or I think that's what they were trying to put off. Like, he felt like a level of ownership or power or like a one-upness that he never felt before. So to kind of end that point, is it about what we know and what our friends can tell us in terms of advice? Like, all we tell each other is just like our experience, right? Right? I mean, like, that's all we can really tell. And in that particular movie's case, or that situation's case, those guys were just telling what they knew. Was it bad advice? Sure. But they weren't telling it to be bad advice. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know how else to word that. Like, I don't think it was bad advice. They just were stupid.
Yes.
And
you know, was it Gary Owen? Because he was the married one.
Yeah, Gary Owen. Yeah.
He was trying to enlighten them a little bit.
Yeah.
Them know. You know, hey, there's time for us, but hey, you know, I got a wife and family, you know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Some of those, Kevin Hart.
Hey, Kevin's great in that movie. I love Kevin. Listen, Cat Williams could come out and say all this shit about Kevin, but Kevin, like he said on, what was he on Breakfast Club? When Kevin said, look, Cat, you had the same opportunity I had. You just chose drugs over this. You know what I mean? But Kevin keeps it on a level that, like, I think that's why he's so widely accepted, is because Kevin is like the sarcastic version of all of us.
What? Who are you talking to? Do you know me? Don't talk like you know me.
Yeah. I'll second that.
And he shows that in this movie.
Oh, yes, he does. And it makes me like the way Wendy Williams handles his strips.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That was, Wendy Williams being his wife. Wow.
She dragged him cape style, bro.
And you brought up Gabby Union, too. Talk about a beautiful black woman right there. Like, she's just...
I'm going to say, yeah, beautiful. But you know what? She's not beautiful enough for me to put on a fucking dress. That's all I'm going to say.
That was a beautiful cast, though. That was a beautiful cast. Like,
oh, she's super nice too. I've actually met her. She's incredibly nice, like super down to earth.
Gabrielle Union?
Gabrielle Union, yeah. She came into a name drop Blue Martini a while ago when I was working there, and she's incredibly nice. Just a super, super, super genuine person.
So my question is this, because all this Hollywood shit has been going on, does she smell good?
She does. Yeah, she smells real nice.
Come on, man. When you got money like that, nigga, you smell good by default.
No, she a short little story. She was there at the Blue Martini with her people one night, and she was trying to use the bathroom, and there was a line like out the door, super, super long for the ladies' room. And she asked if there was another bathroom that she could use. And I told her, I was like, yeah, I'd be happy to show you to our employee bathroom so you can step in there and, have a little privacy. And I went back there to let her in, which was just beyond. There was like some curtains, a hallway, and then our bathroom. And so as I opened the door, one of our security guys was sitting there with a young lady. And they were kind of going at it. Or no, actually, no, that was a different time. That was on a Sunday. This was an evening where there was one of our guys was in there taking a leak. And he had a stick in his hands. And she's like, oh, my God. I was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry, Miss Union. And I shut the door, and she's like, I'll just wait. So, yeah, that was...
So you're saying that you escorted Gabby Union to the bathroom, opened the door, and she saw dude's junk?
I don't know what she saw, but I did open the door. And I was like, she's like, I'll just wait for a second. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
It was a terrible situation.
Exclusive.
I was like, oh, my gosh, I'm so sorry. But I mean, like, that was...
Y'all heard it here first.
It was our employee bathroom, so my bad.
So, Sean, you're single on the show, right?
What's that? Yes, I'm the single one. I was off.
Shirley, you're single on the show, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, Sean, if you were going out on a first date, where would you take a young lady if you were taking her out for the first time?
Yeah. It really depends. I mean, situationally, like if there's anything cool that's going on, I would like to go to an event. But that's kind of, neither here nor there. It depends on the situation. If it's a typical date, like if there's not anything going on that I can kind of make use of, I'm a traditionalist. I like to go out to eat. I know that's not, probably the way to start with a first date. That's kind of like get to know you. So I try to stay away from that, but I try to go somewhere where there's, people feel safer when there's people. So like I don't want to say a concert because then you don't really get to talk. Same thing with the movies. But trying to find like an event at a park or something where there's people at a local event. And just go hang out and get to know each other and just talk. I feel like that's the best way to spend some time with somebody you're getting to know. I mean, everything else kind of leads to innuendo. I feel like that's safe bet. Then again, that's probably why I'm single.
For both sisters, as young ladies, if a guy's going to take you up, what's a no-no for the first date?
I like that question. So don't invite you over where I'm going to cook dinner kind of thing?
Not on the first date.
That's what's rigged.
Not on the first date.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
That's rigged.
No McDonald's, White Castle or something like that. Well, White
Castle.
It's looking for a certain demographic there.
Not the first date, though. Not the first date,
That's like side chick stuff.
It's funny though, because as a guy, it's a different. Like if a chick brings me to Waffle House, you're in.
Oh yeah, you're in. But there's an element to Waffle House that's like entertainment value, so that's different. But see, like me, like if I'm gonna take you out on the first date, and we're gonna go out to eat, I would rather go to a place like, let's say, Kobe's, where there's like all these other kind of people around, and we're all interacting together. Another good first date out is the comedy club. Let's just be honest. Like, if I don't know, it's been a long time since I had to do the first date thing. I mean,
yeah,
my wife and I, when we met, we were one instantly. So it's been a long time. But if I was gonna like take a person out on a first date, I feel like, as I look at it as I'm older now, a comedy club, man, when you take someone there, they're just going to laugh and they're going to be open and they're going to be, you know what I mean? Like it's not too intimate to where it's just you guys. I feel like probably the young people today could use that advice. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you guys think about the comedy club?
I mean, it's hard to get to know someone at a comedy club because you have to sit and listen to the show going on. So it's hard to like have the conversation with your your date. And that's the point of the date.
Exactly.
Sure. No. To your point. Yes, it's definitely not when you're like trying to get to know each other, like Sean kind of said. Like it's at today's age. Like I know us. I'm gonna go ahead and call us all out real quick. We're a little bit older than the genotype that is out there right now, and they just live this sort of fast lifestyle. And you're absolutely correct. Like it's definitely better to like kind of sit down and be able to have that conversation. But just in terms of like, yeah, exactly.
It doesn't have to be an eating date.
Yeah, for sure.
Axe throwing, bowling.
Yeah, that's the thing. I try to stay away from eating dates. I feel like eating dates are a little bit more, especially like in an intimate restaurant. You get to know a little bit more about somebody over that, and then you have that opportunity for uncomfortable pauses. If there's something like, I like that with axe throwing or bowling, something that's interactive and fun, then there can be that awkward silence, and it doesn't have to be awkward. So that's a great idea. Things like that.
I don't know if I want to go out and eat on the first date because I have this thing, people chew. I saw this nightmare video.
You don't want to see the bad side right away?
This chick calls this dude out for a first date. She said, let's go out for drinks. But she orders, what was it, like?
Muscle.
Yeah. She started off with shots. She went into entree and just the way she was chewing in this video.
She was slurping that judge on my
So let me... You invite me out to drink and you're eating all this shit and you're slurping it up like that. Look, after the second slurp, I would have walked out because if I'd have stuck around...
No, check, please.
No, not even. We didn't come here for... You said drinks. Now you want to move me to this shit? And then you want me to hear this shit? I'm liable. Like, if you're chewing too loud, I'm liable to punch you in the mouth. That shit irritates the fuck. So after the second slur, I'd have been like, bye, bitch, and just step the fuck out. No. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's better we go do an activity. If we're going to eat, I need some kind of background noise that's going to, like, drown out just in case.
That's why I like Kobe's.
Yeah. And there's some people where for me, a first date going to eat probably, maybe it is a good thing to go out. That way I might find out real quick.
Yeah. Well, you don't wait till like the third or fourth date after you've invested and then find some shit like that out. And then you're like, oh, I've already put weight.
Like, how many couples do you see today that get married that didn't live together first? Like, that is scary as shit to me. How could you marry someone that you've never lived with? Like, I need to know some things.
I would never commit to living with somebody for the rest of my life, not knowing that I could live with them. That's ridiculous.
Right. Like,
no.
You know what I mean? Like, I could love you to death. That doesn't mean I can live with you. Like,
oh no, that's a whole nother thing.
I mean, there is a such thing as Russian roulette. Just saying it.
It's that.
Yeah, but that's more like a menu thing. Like, you're like, okay, what's this? I don't know. I'm a firm believer. If you should be able to go out and meet someone that's compatible with you. You don't have to order it.
I'm gonna play this one clip. This dating coach, the fella, not the lady, the fella.
Be careful. If it's a unicorn, it might be a dude.
Most women don't know how to date, and that's especially true if you're a woman of color, a black woman, because you're not taught how to date, right? And it's frustrating when things are not going your way because you were never taught. It's like trying to perform surgery, but you've gone to law school. It just doesn't work. So think of me as your fairy godfather, and I'm going to put you on game. I am going to give you some dating strategy, aka some dating boundaries that I want you to uphold and implement on your dating journey. Yeah? Okay, so let's get started. If you are dating a guy and you meet him online and he hasn't asked you out in a week, he's out. Now, if he is longer distance, let's say 2 hours away, he has 2 weeks. And if he's 3 hours away or longer, he has 4 weeks to come and see you and have a date with you. We never go to a guy that's long distance for the first rendezvous, aka meeting or date. We don't get flued out, girls. Yeah? Now, if you have gone out on a date with a guy and he hasn't reached out to you within 48 hours, he's out. it means you are an option and you're not the priority. I get women into relationships like at least 2 or 3 every week, and the guys that they're in relationships with, you have to beat them off with a stick. That's what it looks like. So I want you to have that as your threshold, as your expectation with a guy that is serious about you. And if he's not, he's out. Now, let's say you're further down the line and you have been kind of seeing a guy for 2.5 to 3 months. When the exclusivity conversation, commitment conversation comes up and he's not ready at that time, he's out. If he's not ready then, because a man will know within 2.5 to 3 months.
Yeah, we do a second.
No, that's fair.
He doesn't want to be with you, girl, no shade. And we have to like cut our losses. I have been a dating coach for 13 years, and every woman that has given him an extra week, an extra month, it's never worked out. And it's never worked out, and it's only taken a month to realize that. So please heed my words. Okay, if you have been seeing a guy for 2 years and you're not married or you're not engaged, he's got to be out. He's not serious. You're a placeholder. And or he's not in a financial position to move forward with you, which lets me know
I was about to say that part.
He was never
That's a big part of it.
when you saw him, and that you were building with him. And we don't build with men. It's like buying a house with no windows, doors, or roof. We deal with men that are built.
What the hell is this nigga talking about?
It should only take them 2 years to get engaged or married to you. I hope this helps.
Wow.
Put this in your notes app, girl. And
it helps.
If you want help like upholding and really making sure that these boundaries hold solid, book a call with me and I can become your dating coach. I hope this helps.
Book a call with me.
Look, that's just somebody getting on these things and saying all kinds of things that they've heard and then advertising themselves as a professional and a soothsayer in the topic. Like, to me, you can do that with anything and be like, oh, I'm an expert. Call me.
Okay. All right, is there any, okay, I'm going to ask the girls because it's us dudes always talking all the time. Ladies, is there any validity to what he was saying?
I think there's some validity, but I don't agree with everything that he's saying. Like, because it's just, I feel like you have to be in the situation to know what you want to do. So I don't really believe in all those times that he said, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like, that's all nonsense.
Yeah, what's that about?
It's just all about, how the relationship is going. And just, I think it's the communication that really matters.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah.
Yes. I think you have to let things happen organically. And everything is on a time frame. And I definitely didn't agree with him where he says you can't build with a man, because I think that's the best kind of relationship to have. You can't go to someone already expect them to have everything together already. And just walk into the situation and just bam, like, and that's it. No, you have to go in there and do the work with them, and that's how you build as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally how you know some shit is legit, like 100%. Like, you nailed it. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're already established and someone comes into your life, there's supposed to just be like sort of like some sort of compliment, I guess is what they try to tell us in society, right? They're supposed to compliment me or whatever the fuck ever. No, man, fuck that. You're supposed to be able to build with someone. Like, how else could you know they're real if they aren't there for you in all times, not just when you're up?
Unless you've walked through some of that building and that growing together, then yeah, they haven't been tried and tested to that relationship, really. Like, unless you go through some fire together, how do you know how each one are going to act and when that shit pops up? So I feel like, yeah, you need to kind of go through some things with them.
Where are you at on this, Marcus?
Nah, man. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. None of that shit. Because I'm just like...
Yeah, he lost me about halfway, and I was like, what the fuck?
Why is this dude like an expert? And like, why should anybody listen to what he has to say about it? Like I said, everybody's on their own time frames. Things happen, like the lady said, it's organic. Let things happen as they may, and just go from there. Like,
would you go to?
No.
Did you go to relationship school, my guy?
Yeah, for real. Talk about if he hasn't married you in 2 years, then he's out. Like, what the hell is that? What? Or he doesn't have it. Like, it's crazy. Like,
now as a man, like, look, I'm gonna pronounce this real quick for you, Marcus, since you brought that up. I'm gonna pronounce this real quick. I might sound silly when I say it, but fuck it. Women know within 3 seconds whether or not they would fuck you. Period. It's up to you to mess that up the rest of the way. For men, we know right away if you are marriage material. The only thing that happens is you show us over time that we were wrong. You understand? Do you see what I'm saying when I say this? So what he's saying it kind of sarcastically, but there is a level of validity, which is why I asked the girls it that way. Like, do you think what he's saying is valid? Well, because yes, what he's saying is true, but he's just kind of being sarcastic about it. Almost like, again, clearly this motherfucker is a dude that fucks dudes. So how does he know what women think and feel? Like, I don't give a fuck. You listen, love who you love, fuck what you want to fuck. But a man does not understand how a woman feels, and a woman doesn't understand how a man feels. We learn to understand it, not just know it. You know what I mean?
Anybody that's co-signing or buying his shit, they're gonna be single, and then they're gonna be wondering why.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Why
dude?
can't I be happy? Why can't I find the things that you listen to nonsense like that? You can't let that kind of stuff dictate how you approach relationships and anything. It's like you just gotta let things happen as they may.
Anybody looking from the outside in and
that's
telling
entertainment.
you what's what, like there's too many variables. Like you can kind of figure out on a general basis, on an average, what's going to happen. He's like, oh, you can speak in generalizations, but there's too many variables. People are married from prior relationships. They got kids involved. So yeah, to sit here and say that you're the expert because you set these deadlines and if they don't happen, you're right. No, it's not like that. Life's not like that.
Yeah. And like Rick said, he fucks dudes clearly. So it's like, what?
Right.
He's not a woman though. So it's like, how are you teaching women? And you don't want these things. Yeah, you don't want these things in a woman. So it's like, how are you telling anybody?
He's trying to bank on the fact that he, as a man, knows how men think. And it's like, well, yeah, but when you have different typical relationships than a lot of the guys that you're talking about do, then no longer are you an expert on that particular field. It's a different situation.
Yeah, he's
part.
Clearly not an expert on heterosexual relationships. So why are you talking to women about how they should be with men?
Exactly.
I can see you doing exactly what you're doing, but you're talking to dudes that are with dudes.
Well,
like, you can speak on that.
Videos for the gay community, for other dudes that are wanting to know how dudes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that would make more sense. But as you're not part of that community to make videos for that community, it's like that's a little weird
that
to
part.
me.
Yeah.
So you guys are saying his objective is to free up men, Shirley?
Wait, what was the question?
You think his objective is to free up men for his own?
That's a weird spin.
He wants
us all for himself.
He wants all the men for himself.
I mean,
sorry, like.
That's what I think.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Real, because at the end of the day, it's a money tactic. He'd probably be on TikTok lives, just talking about all this boundary nonsense. So,
and there's people out there buying it. That's the sad part. There's people out there that are like, with what he's saying.
Well, there's enough reality in what he's saying.
But there's people that are gonna just like run with it. Like,
well, here's what I've noticed.
Do you think so?
Because of social media.
Really?
Because of social media, everybody wants to think everybody's good at something, like I get that. But because of the platforms that social media and influencing has, everybody's taking what they know a little bit about and acting like an expert, kind of like this gentleman, well, I don't want to say gentleman, but this guy's doing, where he's kind of like, I'm going to expound on some shit and tell you exactly how to do it, but it's not from a fact-based thing. Like I can sit here in my industry and say all these different things that I've heard, but it doesn't make me an industry expert. I haven't tested those. I haven't, gone against the research and made sure that those are factual based. So anybody can do that now, and everybody is doing that now. So I would say that, like this guy, take every information and mentorship and all that stuff. Like, dude, every day that I go on here, there's all these like mixed martial artists teaching you how to get out of a chicken wing. And you're like, it's like, just punch him in the face. You're like, that's great advice. That sounds great. I'm going to take that on the street. And then people are getting their ass beat because of some shit they see in a TikTok.
Good analogy. Good analogy.
Yeah.
Like, don't take it verbatim. It's not fucking facts. It's not, you don't know this dude is a black belt 3rd degree like he says he is. He's just making videos, bro.
And there's a lot of these out there, these dating coaches, like I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't.
Well,
I can't subscribe to that.
That's the thing. That's what they bank on. You can't disprove it. You can't say, well, what are your credentials? And they're like, well, what credentials should I have? And then, you're at a standstill because
it's true.
Again, it goes back to, like I was saying about that dude, like what makes you that? Like, did you got a degree? Like,
yeah. For real. Hey, you know what? Maybe he does. And if he does, hey, man, shouts out to you, bro.
I mean, what makes you a relationship coach? Like, what degree do you need for that, Marcus?
I asked the guy that I was buying weed from one time if he went to weed college, like we've been taught to ask. And he told me, yes, he's in school for botany. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you are. Kind of.
I guess you know what you're talking about.
That's what I was. Yeah.
Hey, well, more power.
With the highs and mediums or the lows.
It's like, oh, well, right on then. Fantastic.
It's kind of piney, almost minty.
So, Sean, question. So, you're the single one. Are you out there dating now?
No, actually, no.
Not focused on
and
that?
The reason for it, I'm not really focused on it. Like, if somebody, I've told many people, like, if that one comes alive, you're just like, oh, one of these days, that one is going to come along and, change your mind and turn your head and you're going to think of nothing else. And every day is going to be, wanting to be with that person. And I was like, God, that sounds fucking exhausting. Like, I'm cool where I'm at right now. If I get to the point of a few years down the road and I still haven't, I've made myself very comfortable with that. But that being said, like, I have a nice life. I'm very happy, but there are aspects that are missing. I could use a little bit more order, a little bit more beauty that could only be brought in by a female. So I'm open to it, but I'm not actively going out there and dating. Like, I'm in the real estate business. I think of myself as kind of like one of these houses that are going to be for sale, like coming soon. I'm not ready for showings. Like, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. And the product that I want to finally present is something that's a little bit higher than I am right now. Like, I'm working on myself. I've got some things to do. If somebody comes along and they're like, hey, what's up? I might say, hey, let's go find out what's up. But I'm not looking forward to that, if that makes sense. Like, I'm at the point now where it'll probably happen and I'm going to have to look at it and be like, is this really what I want to do? I want to keep working.
So on that note, Sean, as your best friend for the last over 30 years,
here.
Let me long story short this. You are definitely at a point now where that is an obvious thing. Like, for a very long time, like, backstory, I guess, after you came out of your divorce, right? Like, you were very, like, mad at women, would be the best way for me to word that.
It's mad at
and
everything.
Now it doesn't feel that.
I think that's pretty common.
Like, now it's more like I think you're over the pain of that. So with that said, like, that's probably why you can say, oh, I'm not really dating now, because you're right.
No,
you're not.
I think you're absolutely right. It takes a while, as it will with any relationship. And I mean, I was married, a little background. I was married for 9 years. So coming out of that, it's easy to feel, jilted and jaded and like everything, failed. But I'm not a relationship expert, but I think a lot of what happens is we feel that. We feel like something failed. We feel like we broke something and we fucked up. And it's
we didn't do it right.
Sometimes people just don't get along, and it's honestly for the better. Like, I talked to my mom, I talk to her pretty regularly, and she asked me, she's like, are you doing okay? And I told her, I was like, I feel like if I had stayed in that, that beach that we went to all the time growing up in Ventura, California, it's got the ship by the water, and it's got like it's very cool. And she's like, yeah, I know that beach. And I was like, I don't know that if I stayed with her, I ever would have gotten to go see that beach. Like, I don't think I ever would have seen it again, because she didn't have that kind of, I don't want to say ambition. She had a different kind of ambition, but we weren't supporting each other in our ambitions. And I was like, I'm okay. I'm okay, because I feel like, so there's good and bad, and you have to see the good. But yeah, it took me a while, man. And you helped me a lot through that. But yeah, it's focusing on the positive, and it takes a while, and it takes some real introspection and going inside, and not thinking that it went wrong, but just kind of ironing it out and making sure that you don't do that again. Like, there was bad and good on both sides. I'm not innocent, neither is she. But you can grow from that, and that's what you need to do, and not let it hamper you. Or, that's the thing. Like, I don't not date because I dislike women. I have no problem with that. Like, I get along very well with all my friends, male, female. We're all cool, but it's going to take me a while to find the one that's worth it again, to jump back into that boat.
That's understandable.
Ooh.
Yeah, like, it's not my way or the highway, but it's pretty close at this point. It's got to be something that is more conducive to where I'm going and not something that I'm stepping off of my path for. And that was mostly my fault. Like, it's easy to step away from you and become us, and too much us is a bad thing. Like, you still have to be you. You still have to retain you.
Yeah, I want to thank my sisters for joining us. Hope you guys have fun.
Yes. Thank you, ladies.
For having us.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ladies.
Thank
Oh,
you.
for sure.
No, that'd be the only time. Definitely, y'all are always welcome anytime.
Come back and see us.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I want to direct everyone to our merch. Please dive into that.
Yes.
We have some t-shirts, hoodies, all the good.
We're about to get mugs and tumblers.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys look for work, please check my nephew Nate out. Those in our bio.
Yes, sir. And check out Trap Sax by Nish. That's our intro and outro track. You can find his music on SoundCloud and YouTube. Check him out.
Yep. Yes, sir. So sign them up.
Come to all the socials and like and subscribe.
Yes. Like, subscribe, comment, interact. Talk shit.
Yes.
Do whatever you got to do. Get it off your chest.
Talk shit, baby. We on it.
Signing off, I'm Al, Marcus, Rich, Sean, and my sister Shirley and Tamara. Peace.